Hi, it's been 6 weeks since breast augmentation and tummy tuck, and I haven't given any updates. My apologies. Changes have been very slow, and then all of a sudden we're 6 weeks along and a lot of things have changed. I think I'll just give you a real quick rundown on what we've gone through in those 6 weeks and some of the things we've learned, and I'll show you the results. I've already tried to show you the results with my pretty shirt. I would never have dared to wear a shirt like this before augmentation. My whole wardrobe has changed, what I can wear and what I feel comfortable in. So let's back way up to like day 5. I was wearing those compression stockings. They started driving me insane. I could not sleep. My cat is at the door. She wants to be in the video, but she's not allowed. So it got to the point where I could not sleep in those at all, and one night I just ripped them off, and the next morning we actually called the doctor and said, "Is that okay?" And he said with the blood thinners and being 6 days past surgery, he thought it was fine not to wear the compression stockings anymore. Thank goodness. At 1 week we went for a checkup, and they removed the drainage tubes, which was such a relief. As I had said before, I really hated them. They start getting really sore. They're stitched onto the skin where they enter the skin, and they just get tugged while you're showering or changing and things like that. It started getting very uncomfortable. When we were there, the nurse removed the drainage tubes. They went in here and they came all the way up here on each side. They were 6 or 8 inches, Kevin, would you say? I said to her, "Tell me how bad this is going to suck, because I really like to know rather than be surprised." And she said, "Oh, it'll burn a little bit. And take a deep breath, blow it out, and I'll remove them." And it was very uncomfortable. I'll say, I would take your pain meds a half hour beforehand, just so that you're really on top of that big change in your body. I was so relieved to have them out that I didn't really care, but it burned really bad, and it felt strange, really deep in my stomach, which I didn't expect either. With drain removal, we got doctor's orders for other things, such as I'm allowed to do walking, but no other exercise. Walking hunched over had my back in such bad spasms that I thought I was going to be crippled for life. And so he said that I could start to straighten up, but depending on how tight your stomach is and how much they've done in their tummy tuck, that'll alter for you. But within 24, 48 hours, I was walking pretty much upright because I was getting broken by that hunching over walk. The next thing I had to deal with was, as the healing within about the 10 days, 12 days mark after surgery, started to itch, deep itching, which is part of the healing process, plus the incisions were very itching too. And sometimes, especially at the end of the day, or if I just changed my tapes or had a shower, I would be beside myself with discomfort. Not pain, but just totally uncomfortable with this itching of internally on my stitches, on my incisions. So we found that Tylenol at first, and then once all the blood thinners cleared my system, we did ibuprofen, and putting ice packs on just brought that sensation right down really, really fast. And if I just laid down and just let that all work, it was a big relief. The other thing we found out is the paper tapes, which I'm still wearing. If you remove, I will show you afterwards, we'll take these off and show you what kind of actual scars I have at this point. But if you remove them after a shower and they're wet, the tape gets, the adhesive gets very gluey, and it actually pulls your incisions. When we first did it, we opened up the incision a little bit. And then we did some research and read online about Micropore is the paper tape we're using. And Metapore. And Metapore, very similar product. If you take them off when they're dry, they come off just easy as can be. As soon as they're wet, you're going to cause yourself injury, so be really careful of that. I ended up with the adhesive starting to bother me, and we can even show you there's like irritation marks where the tape is. So we got permission after about 4 weeks. I was just ready to just take it apart, and maybe even earlier, 3 weeks or so. And the doctor said, take it off for a day or so, let the skin settle down, put the tapes back on. Because the whole idea is that as I'm stretching and everything, I'm not widening that scar, because the tape is giving it that extra strength there. So I still have it under my breast and on the tummy tuck. One day I had way too much salt in my diet. Don't do that, especially, that was probably week 2 or 3. And I started to retain water and everything swelled up so bad. So really watch your levels of salt. My binder, remember we had to loosen it off to be comfortable. Now my binder will does up almost as completely as far as it can. I might have to get a smaller binder. The swelling has reduced so much. So that's a nice change. I still wear my binder most of the time. The doctor said I can take it off from time to time. Mostly it's only comfortable for me to have it off when I'm laying down on my back. So especially if I'm walking around or doing housework or stuff, I make sure I have that extra support because the six-pack muscles really are still really tender. Just like a tremendous workout has been done, and that hasn't stopped or eased since the day of the surgery. Wow, I'm going through this fast and I'm doing a lot because I don't want to bore you guys. I ended up with such bad indigestion, really heartburn that I just couldn't sleep through. I ended up taking Zantac, which I've never taken before, and just staying on it for about a 5-day spell there. And as we did some research, we realized that people, especially if they've had gallbladder problems or like me, irritable bowel, my irritable bowel syndrome is very, very high in my upper bowels. So with the tightened stomach muscles, my digestion was slowing down and everything was getting irritated. So I went through a bit of a spell of that. So if you end up with burning stomach and stuff, Zantac I'm not a doctor, but it worked really well for me. So I think that's it, except to show you what I've got now. And we're just going to pause for a second and I will show you a real PG-13 version of this.
Go ahead, I'll edit it out.
Will you? Okay.
Yeah.
What am I doing? Okay. Let me just take this off.
That was well done. I might not have to edit that.
I could have been really cute and adorable if I knew you were going to edit it. So the swelling has gone down. They're really, really comfortable, and they're actually pretty soft. Not as hard rock drums as they were. Wow, you've come in really close, Kevin. So they're very comfortable. It's kind of cool that I don't even have, if I'm wearing the right shirt, I don't even have to wear a bra and it stays in place. I don't wear this bra right now. I'm still wearing a really good support bra and we'll show you that later. I just did this mostly for the video. And then for here, you can see that the scar is right about bikini line, just a little bit high, I suppose. And belly button, I'm olive skin, so I tend to scar pretty dark and it takes a while to fade, but it does happen sooner or later. When you're taking off the tapes, make sure that you pull at as like flat across like this, not up in the air at all. And this is all healed. I've had a couple of problems with the dissolving stitches not actually dissolving, and that on each end they've come through, and when they came through there were like little pieces of glass. The knots came to the surface instead of dissolving and had to be getting rid of because they were making me insane. Especially my binder would sit right on it and rub those stitches. So I'm just pulling towards the center on each side. And as I said, I'm dark scarred anyways, but it's pretty narrow. And then we had one trouble spot right here. It's still a little bit not quite healed, but everything else is completely healed. And see the dark, this is tape irritation I'm getting. So I usually wear the tape 2-3 days and then take a day break or so. And then, but tummy very flat, pleating's almost gone. There's a little bit of pleating left here. I remember from the earlier videos there was a lot of pleating to take up the excess skin. It's a little bit swollen right here. Got it kind of like a dome right now. This part of my six-pack muscles is the sorest. And I'm not sure if that's because my binder doesn't really give it support. My binder stops about here. But this is my most tender. I wouldn't say sore, just really tender to the touch. I can feel the strength of my stomach though. It's totally different. And then I'll see if I can get the tape off here blindly. Uh-oh. Do I got it? No.
You ended up shredding it.
Try that aside for this. Might have to edit this part. No. Help me. So yeah, there we go. There's the underneath of that one. Did I get it all off?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I've got for the scars under the breast. They don't hurt at all anymore. They had really tender little spots. Again, it started to feel just like the stitches hadn't. I don't think I can get this tape off right now. I think I'm a little bit warm in there. They're sticking there. But that's what I've got. And so just to compare with, so Kevin can take a, oh, we're going to take a shot, aren't we? But we took a shot of the before on day 0 of me leaning forward like this with my nipples covered up. And you can see now that there, we'll do it again, but totally different. I'm not sucking my tummy in at all. This is not, and honestly I was trying to hold in some of my stomach last time, so this is just what I've got. And the binder, this is actually clean, but it rubs against your clothes and the Velcro collects all the fuzz and stuff. But this is my original binder that I came home from the hospital with. And now, when I wear it, this is the end of my strip to attach my Velcro from, and I'm actually hanging over it. I'm actually at the end of what, so the swelling has come down so much. It's so nice and snug though. I can put it under a t-shirt and I wear this, and most people don't know I've gone to parties and everything and nobody knows I'm wearing a binder underneath. So that's a big difference. I'm right at the end of both pieces. And I think that probably is about it. By my days now, I find I still get sometimes really weary and my incisions start to irritate me and stuff towards the end of the day. But I'm mostly not taking anything for pain. And then I'll just think, oh, tonight I need to take Tylenol and just let that get on top of that again. And I think that's about it. I'll keep on giving updates. It's probably going to be another month or so unless something radical changes. But we'll just keep on showing you as the swelling comes down and get rid of the binder and stuff. And thank you for following our journey. Okay, and I just wanted to come back briefly and show you, this is the kind of sports bra I've been wearing. It has lots of elastic to it, so it gives a lot of support. My worst nightmare is that my boobs will fall into my armpits while I'm sleeping one night on my back. So I wear a bra to bed, of course. And so at the back it's got lots of support in both directions too, and much more comfortable and prettier than the medical bra. It has this nice thick band that doesn't dig into my scars. Honestly, this is from Walmart in their sports section. It costs like $15 or something. So I've got assorted ones of this, and it's what I wear pretty much night and day unless I really want to dress up for an hour and wear a pretty shirt without it. And that's my last bit of advice for now.